Welcome to Advanced Toastmasters Online. Here are some online meeting tips. You can mute your microphone by clicking on this bottom microphone button, or you can toggle your video on and off by clicking on the video button here. Please mute your mic when you're not speaking, and that's done in the lower left-hand corner, like I said here. You can also use a headset or earbuds. If you are having some feedback, or if we hear feedback, we'll ask you to do that. This view that you're seeing on the screen right now is called the gallery view. And if you want to adjust your view from where you're sitting, you can click on where it says speaker view, and you can personally toggle back and forth between speaker view and gallery view. I will be recording on my end based on the view that I see from my computer. If you have questions or notes for the speakers, you can do that by adding them to this chat box here, this little chat function. Please also remember to do that in between speeches, and so we're not interrupting the speakers while they're giving their speeches. And a special note that this meeting will be recorded. It's our policy that by participating in our meeting, you agree that a recording will be made available publicly on YouTube and on our various social media sites. If you're interested in joining Advanced Toastmasters Online, go to ato.toastmost.org, and you can start here where this says become a member. Start there and you can see information about our fees, our requirements, and also the form to apply for our club. We do require our members to be advanced Toastmasters, so you're competent communicator or above, or you have completed 2 levels within the Pathways program. We do have many advanced Toastmasters, DTMs, and past district governors and district directors. So happy to have you be a part of this if you're visiting for the first time. At this time, I'd like to say welcome to Advanced Toastmasters Online. Put the gavel down and turn the meeting over to myself. I'm going to be the acting Toastmaster of the day. And I'm going to read the mission of our club. Our mission of this Advanced Toastmasters Club is that we are an Advanced Toastmaster Club which supports maverick leaders in creating greater impact by providing advanced feedback on online presentations and leadership skills, and discovering what it means to be out-of-the-box, innovative leaders. And I think today's theme, we're just going to say, it's winter here, so I think that might be a good enough theme for today. Just winter. And at this time, I'm going to stop sharing and go back to the meeting. And I'm going to post the agenda for our meeting in the chat box if no one has done that already. I want to make sure that we get that put in there. And so we can all look at it together. And while I'm doing that, I think, Rick, did you volunteer to be the timer for today? Is that what you?
I did.
Yay. Well, could you let us know how you're going to be timing while I do that? Could you let us know what you'll be doing as the timer then while I put this agenda up? Thank you, Rick.
I'll be glad to. As a timer, it's my role to make sure that the meeting keeps on time and that we have everybody timed in their specific roles. For example, on a speech, a 5 to 7 minute speech, I'll hold the green card up at 5 minutes, the yellow at 6, and the red at 7. And then when it gets on a table topic, which is 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute 30, and 2 minutes, we go to red. And if by chance people really get excited and they keep going and going and going, will hold up the stop sign. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And at this time, do we have someone who'd like to do the grammarian's report or an all counters report? If not, I think we'll just skip right over that. We'll go straight into our speeches for the day. And I am going to introduce our first speaker, and that's Tammy. Tammy is presenting from the special occasion speeches, presenting an award. In January 2018, Tammy Lang made yet another resolution to read the Bible in its entirety. As 2018 went along and Tammy continued on this goal, she found herself drawn more and more into following Pastor David Jeremiah's ministry. As 2018 came to an end and Tammy met this resolution, she realized Dr. Jeremiah's ministry was indeed worthy of an award. Please help me welcome Tammy as she presents an award for the most influential evangelist. And the title of her speech is An Influential Evangelist. Please help me welcome Tammy Lang.
And the timing, please.
3 to 4 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction. As Don mentioned, every year I always make my resolutions. Every year I make the resolution, I'm going to read the Bible. And then I realized, all right, let's see what we can do this year. Will 2018 be any different? I get daily emails from a ministry called Turning Point, which is Dr. David Jeremiah's ministry. So I started reading the Bible every day, but I started reading those emails every day too, to keep me in tune with they're going to make this goal. I then started watching Turning Point on TV and recording it because it would appear on the weekends on TV. I was following Turning Point on social media. I downloaded the app. I kind of felt myself more and more committed to making this resolution work in 2018. I have a 35-minute commute to work every day, and so that's a perfect length of time to listen to Turning Point's podcast every day. Again, I'm getting in the spirit, the day started out right, I'm reading the Bible right when I get home from work, everything seemed to be in place. Halfway through the year, I ended up purchasing one of Dr. Jeremiah's books, which is called A Life Beyond Amazing, and the subtitle is 9 Decisions That Will Really Transform Your Life Today. I'm going to kind of talk about this and to help you understand why I believe Dr. Jeremiah and his ministry is worthy of the great evangelistic award that I'm awarding his ministry today. Now, again, there's 9 topics. I'm only halfway through the book. I'm going to kind of hit on some of these 9 amazing things you can do in your life to truly live a life amazing. The first chapter is a life of love. And I found a couple of scriptures from the New Testament, John 15:12, my commandment to you that you love one another as I have loved you. In the chapter of Luke, Father, forgive them for they know not what you do. So how can we live a life of love? Love your neighbors. We know that's too. Second chapter is a life of joy. Not to be confused with happiness, Dr. Jeremiah says this is when we rejoice in the Lord, we rejoice in what is all and well. The Old Testament Isaiah, as a bridegroom rejoices over the bride, so shall you, your God, rejoice over you. Also from the Old Testament, we have Nehemiah. The joy of the Lord is your strength. So I love that idea of living a life of joy, a life of peace, a life of endurance. And actually, a life of endurance is where I'm at right now in the book. And what I liked about this chapter from Dr. David Jeremiah, we're going to embrace our adversity. Find your passion, pursue it, get rid of what's holding you back. And I had to pull my favorite scripture out of the New Testament, Hebrews 12:1. Let us run with endurance the race is set before us. So living that life of endurance. And again, there's 4 more chapters, a life of compassion, a life of generosity, integrity, and humility. Oh, and self-discipline, so I got 5 chapters left. I'm thinking, I'm so into this book right now, and his TV ministry now is on daily that I'm also recording. And the ministry on TV right now is focused on this book. Everything is in place that this is where I'm supposed to be spiritually. And I can't think of a better person for me to present an award to at this point in my life than Dr. David Jeremiah and his ministry. Through this ministry, I have grown as a Christian and truly am trying to live a life beyond amazing. So please help me in presenting a virtual award to the most influential evangelist in 2018 for me, Dr. David Jeremiah, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. And thank you, Dr. David Jeremiah, for his award. At this time, we have a second speaker, and that's Aaron Long. And Aaron Long is going to be presenting from the Strategic Relationships Level 4, Building Skills, Building a Social Media Presence. And the title of Aaron's speech today is called Rebrand to be the Very Best. Please help me welcome Aaron Long with Rebrand to be the very best.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Remember the moment whereby you first join a Toastmaster club and you feel that, hey, this club rhymes with me. This club signals me. And this club, I feel connected with it. Remember that first moment and keep that feelings with you. Once that feelings start to grow stronger and stronger, a Toastholic you is born. Dear fellow Toastmasters, my speech is really focusing on about building a brand in Toastmasters. And where should I start most than my home club that I chartered along with Dawn as well, Comparative Communicators. And this club has been founded for 1.5 years. It's an online club, similar to Advanced Toastmasters. Only difference is that it started quite a long time ago with a bunch of people who are very passionate about speaking. And once it started to build up, Paul, our founding president, started and lead the club all the way to the end. It was amazing bliss until he left the crowd. When I say he left the crowd, doesn't mean that he disappeared from the curtains. The publicity stopped. I was the SA at that time. I have to know all the tech stuff, maintaining the spotlights, maintaining all the things that you will experience the best deal of online club. I also do occasional promotions and summaries and stuff. I've realized that there is a big transitional gap. Our new president took over, Marty Green, also inspiration, also a John Maxwell individual who is always promoting different inspirations to them. And when we have lovely moms just now who interacts with us with a nice cup of coffee or tea, we always have the feeling that we want to deliver the best for people. But we are not reaching out. We are not reaching out because we cannot connect with the world with no promotions, no posters, no themes. So what do we do about it? So it went downhill. No one stopped it. I tried to think about some solutions, but I was the VP. I'm not the VPPR. I delegate to the VPPR to do something. But the team started to disappear. Some people say, I'm an area director, so I was busy this year. Quit it. Or I wouldn't say quit it. Take a break. Our VPM said, I feel tired from all this burnout. I'm taking a break. Out of the 7 executive members, there are only like 3 left. Even the president left. So I was promoted to a president role. That's how I became a president of Comparative Communicators. But now, it's a time to share a bit of what Comparative Communicators end up now. It was started from no promotions to a nice new page right now. You can see that Comparative Communicators, I am not a tech guru. I have to stress that I'm not a tech guru, but I have the vision of what I want to build in this club. So we added this animation that you can see that is trying to connect with the world. And it's on the cover page so that people from all around the world feel that it's included in there. We are open-minded in there. We want to make sure that it's only a club that has you, a value that you carries with us. So I built this kind of platform so that people can feel connected with us. And we cultivate a world champion in our club. A world champion in international tape speech contest. Definitely boring. Dawn definitely knows it. And she won a lot of awards. So what do we do about it? We have to make sure that we use our resources carefully. So that's where it ended up. It's still scrolling because there are lots of posts here. This is one problem where we do social medias, is that we have lots of posts and it takes a while for people to look. But we will remember to pin her winning speech in that page so that people can always look, we have a world champion, come and join us. And we make sure that people would know who are the real individuals that they can follow and be inspired by. Moreover, I have to create a lot of different team members, and we are connected to the local radio station. As you can see from here, we're connected to the radio station whereby we get promoted on Competitive Communicators. So we're not just doing just one social media problem. We want to actually give more flavor. Local communities, feel free to join us. We also rebrand ourselves, not just competing with yourself. We need to have some individuals. If people can recognize the person in the center right now, that's Smart Hunter, world champion in 2009. We are actually building a club whereby we invite world champions come by and give workshops for everyone so that we learn from the best. And we also have lovely reviews and also added on some sort of like the President Award called the Aaron's Favorite. It's not just that I am loving myself, but it's always showing the best bits that there is the most improved award. Aaron give it because I've observed you. I know that you have grown so much. I want to let you know that you are also our brand. You are also our asset. So we posted our videos of the meetings in our Facebook page. This is our main resource so that people can feel connected and review all the meetings that happens in the past. We are most updated. We even started a theme for competitive communicators, which is a big change because in the past, they never cared. They just come by, have meetings, and that's all. But I think that theme is the one that actually sets the mood. I can't be always that energetic. I need to have some directions, just like a Bible or a book. So the thing is about the feelings of this connective elements to create the nice vibe. So just looking for this mentor, I will congratulate and thanks my dear VPPR Evie Alexander, who has been creating these posters all the time. Without her, I'm incomplete. The club is incomplete. Every single team member plays a part in this social media to make sure that they find the right place. My VPPR is actually posting posters. My secretary is posting meeting minutes. I'm actually regulating and connecting to people who have chat with us. So we are doing a lot of nice teamwork behind this just one-page social media. And we are trying to reflect the values of Toastmasters in RISE. Remember, respect, integrity, service, and excellence, all inclusive in one package. That's all for my rebranding. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. What a great speech. And we will hear from our evaluators after the table topics. Thank you very much for signing up and presenting today. At this time, we're going to shift gears for our meeting and move on to our table topics. And Andrea is our table topics mistress. So please help me welcome Andrea.
Thank you. This morning, I have a box full of questions, and I'm just going to reach in and randomly take out a question, and then I'm going to ask somebody if they want to answer it. Anybody can raise their hand for this. Is it ever right to do the wrong thing, and is it ever wrong to do the right thing? Anybody want to answer that? Everybody's looking down. Nobody likes that question, huh? I can pick another one. Do you vote that I pick another one?
I would vote that you choose someone rather than ask for volunteers.
Okay, Rick, you're it then.
Okay.
You want me to reread it?
Sure. Thank you.
Is it ever right to do the wrong thing? And is it ever wrong to do the right thing?
Thank you, Madam's Topics Master. And that is a very interesting question. And I'm going to answer that a little bit different than what you would expect. In Judaism, it is acceptable to have a little white lie sometimes to have peace. And what I mean by that is if I went shopping and I took a little bit longer to go shopping, I might come home and say, I was shopping and I bumped into someone. Not a lie that would be inappropriate. With that thought in mind, sometimes doing the wrong thing for the right reason is not bad. What we want to look at, though, is our integrity, our morals. Doing the wrong thing that would be a violation of our personal integrity and our morals would be very, very wrong. But doing the wrong thing that would not be of any harm and to create a more peaceful outcome might be the right thing. So everything has to be weighed on an individual level as to what is right and what is wrong and to what degree we're looking at. Does it mean we're able to knock a wall down? No. It means we're supposed to look at ourselves, make sure that we are living within our integrity, one of our core values in Toastmasters, and make that work. Madam Topics Master, that's my answer.
Thank you, Rick. That was awesome. Okay, I'm going to reach in the box for something else. Hopefully it'll be one that, Tammy, you'll like to actually answer. And the question is, what is one thing you would like to most change in the world?
Wow. What is one thing I would like to most change in the world? Well, where do we start with that? I suppose we probably have to think, first of all, would be peace, and that we would all get along and it would feel safer. Perhaps would be my biggest thing that we would have in the world we live in too. It's so global anymore too. You know, we have Aaron joining us globally. That if we could all get past some of our biases and hatred and misconceptions towards other countries, other nations, other races, religions, any of those worries we have in this world, I think we probably live better in harmony, and that would help all of us, obviously. The cost that the U.S. spends on military to protect us globally is very much a large amount of money, but we need that to protect us. If we all would get along and find that we can be different but yet still live happily together, I think the world overall might be a better place. So I suppose that would be my answer. One wish for the world is that we could just have some peace and harmony. Madam Topics Master.
Thank you. That was a very beauty contestant answer. Very good. Okay, the next question here. Just randomly picking it out. And Dawn, this one's for you. What's one thing you'd like others to remember about you at the end of your life?
Oh, that's a good one. Because I think about this, Madam Table Topics Master, with my children. Because sometimes, to me, they matter the most because they most likely are going to be telling the stories of who I was more than anyone else. So if they're going to tell stories about me, I want them to tell a good one. So the thing I think that I would most like for them to remember about me is that I am understanding. And I think that they get that because they do tell me that. They reflect that to me often, that I understand people which makes me extremely patient, which makes me masterfully forgiving when they feel that they don't always deserve, the forgiving, that they kind of get that from me. So on the biggest thing that I think I would like for them and anyone else who knows me to talk about me or pass on might be that I was understanding and caring of the human condition. And regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, again, there's politics. When it comes down to it, we're all human. And I would hope that my children understand that that's who I am and tell those stories moving forward. So thank you, Andrea.
Awesome. Thank you. And Erin, you're next. Randomly, here's your question. How would you describe freedom in your own words?
Fellow Toastmasters, most distinguished guests, and advanced Toastmasters, freedom. Freedom is a tough word, although it's spelled in 7 letters. Freedom to me is a time, a period, a place where my mental state is at its most relaxing state. Meaning that I have no woes, meaning that I have no worries, sadness, happiness. I'm just letting my body to fall and let the gravity pulls me down. Or, in another perspective, freedom to my DTMs. But the thing is that there is always a matter of freedom that leads to what you truly believed in. I believe in the freedom of slavery. Slavery should not be tolerated. People should be freed in there. There are actually still slaveries these days. You just don't know where it is. In China, there are lots of people who have become slaves, become beggars, lie on the streets, and you can't really help them. Or freedoms of rights as a lawyer. Then we are thinking about your own rights, your rights to speech, your rights to knowing everything, your rights to remain silent. Every single right is a matter of freedom, and which one grants you that freedom is your government. If not for a government or the law, constitution, there is no freedom at all. But final definition for freedom to me is that freedom shouldn't be controlled by anyone other than yourself on yourself. That is the final state that I would say about freedom. Because if you impose your freedom onto others, you're actually kind of influencing others and controlling. So freedom for yourself is to let yourself enjoy a nice Toastmaster meeting right now, sinking and sipping all this experience with you all. Back to you.
Thank you, Erin. I'm picking one out and I'm going to answer it myself. So everybody gets a chance today. What is the most defining moment in your life thus far? I think that I would pick today the moment that I got the All-Star Award, Customer Service All-Star Award at Nordstrom. In my family, being a salesperson was a highly valued commodity. We used to play games at dinner time that who could sell the dessert for tomorrow night. And whoever won was the person that got to eat that dessert the next night. So it was kind of always a game to see who could sell who what, but being nice about it and helping people in the midst of it. So when I got my customer service award, I was really, really excited because I had reached the pinnacle in my family, the ultimate being the top at Nordstrom department stores. And I was the customer service thing, the thing that Nordstrom is known for. As soon as I got that, I walked across the street because my mother worked for the competitor. And I went to her office and I said, Mom, look what I got. I got the Customer Service All-Star Award from Nordstrom. And my mom said, oh, that's nice. Have a good day. Go out and have a nice afternoon. And I was so upset because my mother didn't really appreciate how much work I had just put into this. And I thought, you know, I've worked really hard most of my life trying to get my mom to approve of me. And this was like the ultimate, and she still didn't approve of me. So instead, I went a couple of blocks away to my dad's office, and my dad said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. He dropped everything, canceled all of his appointments for the rest of the afternoon, took me out to dinner, took me to a movie. It was the ultimate moment with my dad. And it was a defining moment because I realized I was never going to ever be a person that my mom was totally going to approve of. And it allowed me the freedom to be whoever I wanted to be. So it was an extremely defining moment for me. And I think that's the end of my speech. But I want to say for everybody else, I think as we were talking here, a lot of it has to do with how we look at other people and appreciate them and care about them. The freedoms, Rick, even yours with the doing the wrong thing to create peace among people. There's Tammy, you wanted peace. Dawn, you talked also about wanting understanding between people. And then Aaron, you also had the freedom and not forcing that onto other people. We all have a value of caring about other people and valuing them for who they are and what they are. And I just thank you all for being the kind of people that I can enjoy that with. Thanks. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Andrea, for a wonderful table topic session. And at this time, I'm going to move right into our evaluation section, and I'm going to kind of do this maybe a little different. I'm going to send both Aaron and Tammy their written evaluations. So I'll do that, and I'll give a brief evaluation on each one of their speeches, and we'll go through the round robin again. But just to let you know that I will be starting out each one of their evaluations. So first of all, Tammy, your speech was the special occasion speech presenting an award, and your objectives were to present an award with dignity and grace, acknowledge the contributions of the recipient, and your time was 3 to 4 minutes. You did that very well. You were very clear. You were clearly affected by David Jeremiah. Was his name again? Yes, I'm just going from memory. I didn't write it down right here. So David Jeremiah, and you actually were able to put that into my brain so I could recall it now. So it was an authentic and sincere appreciation I felt. What could you have done differently? I think maybe doing differently was, I felt that you gave us a lot of content about your story, which I think is a plus, a very good way to connect the award to your life and how he impacted you and his ministry impacted you. I kind of felt like I wanted to get to know him a little bit better, to make the story kind of click, and so I could feel more connected to him, not just the story and how he impacted you. So I think that might have been something that you could improve upon for the next time. And what did I like about this speech specifically? I really did enjoy the fact that you wove your story into giving this award and how it impacted you. And at this time, I'm going to ask for other round robin evaluations to see. Aaron, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yep, as I'm the evaluator for Tammy, so I'll be slightly more in detail. So first, is according to Tammy about the presenting award 3 to 4 minutes, main focus is actually 3 points. First of all, did the speaker clearly explain the purpose of an award? Very clear. It's basically literally telling about him why he deserved that award. It's transparent, it's transformative, we feel that connection. So that, good job, good round of applause to Tammy. Next is about how effective did the speaker convey the reasoning for him to receive the award. I've sent a book that David has actually influenced you. I think the best award winner should be the book, because I feel that it's actually more about the book. As just to add on to what Don has actually mentioned, I really want to know about that person other than just the book that he created. I'm sure he has done more than just a book. He has done more influence in the community than anyone else, maybe, for example. Now, I would like to know how much his contribution is. What is his life? How he can be inspiration to people. Then that is actually why we feel like, just imagine the Oscar. We don't just talk about the book or the movie. We talk about that person, if you think that a bit of a connection. So that way is a challenge. Finally, how sincere was the speaker in his or her praise? I saw Tammy's meaning about she glows. She literally glows. So she's like, the tears are in her eyes. You can feel that she is so into this person. She's so, how would I say, like a fan. So you can literally feel that part that is very sincere. That is like the sincerity to its highest peak. Admiration. So yeah, so that would be the comment I would give to Tammy. Well developed speech. Give a round of applause to Tammy, please. Next person.
Andrea.
Mine is just technical, Tammy. I would love to see your computer drop down or your seat raised up so you're a little bit more in the center of the picture, and then to have front lighting so that we can actually see more of the expression on your face. Other than that, good job. Way to go. Back to you, Dawn, Aaron, whoever.
And Rick, did you have anything you wanted to add to Tammy's speech before I move on to the next evaluation?
Well, I actually enjoyed Tammy's speech. It showed determination to follow, thank you, Aaron, to follow through on her commitment that she made to herself. And that is a very important commitment, is more so than making a commitment to someone else, making it to yourself and following through and making it happen. So congratulations, Tammy, on that level of dedication. You deserve an applause.
Thank you. And at this time, I'll move on to the evaluation for Aaron's speech. And we will make sure I get to his. Thank you very much. Here we go. Building a social media presence was his speech title, rebranding. And the purpose of this project is for a member to apply his or her understanding of social media to embrace an established or new social media presence. The purpose of, I guess that's written twice. During the completion of this project, the member spent time building a new or enhanced social media. So this is the background for this project. The project was that they were to enhance an existing social media presence, generated posts to a social media platform, and then the speech is delivering a well-organized speech around his or her experience. And choosing to speak about that experience and focus on one or two aspects of it. I thought Aaron did a fantastic job, both on giving us some background information about why he's doing the social media and connecting it to Toastmasters, which makes it very relevant to our club. It makes us very relevant to all of us as Toastmasters. And it makes it very relevant since we also have a Toastmasters web page, so we could see some examples for ourselves on best practices and what might be, what we could use. And I also appreciate the fact that Aaron showed us. He did the screen share and actually showed us those examples of what he was doing and let us know that it's a team effort. And I think a lot of times when we do social media or we take on any project or any endeavor, we think we have to do it alone. Now, I, as a Maverick leader, totally can do this. Let me go on the edges and let me just do this myself, because sometimes it can be quicker, easier, faster, and lonelier. And Aaron gave a great example of how it doesn't have to be lonelier. It can still be quick and easy, and everybody has a job to do. So I appreciate the fact that he gave us an overview of his social media, why he was doing it, why the club that he is so passionate about was worthy of his efforts as well. And at this time, I'm going to open it up, not before mentioning that Aaron I like your haircut, Aaron. Like, I have to tell you that I noticed it right away. I'm not sure if you actually got a haircut, but everyone looks very dapper today. So if anyone has any comments that are relevant to his speech, not his haircut, or maybe his haircut as well, please raise your hand and we can do the round robin for Aaron's speech. Hands up, Andrea.
Aaron, also with you, I would like to see your whole face. I see half of it. The rest of it is in shadow. So I'd just like some front light on you so I could see both sides of your face so you don't look kind of odd. I also just want to compliment you on how well you did the screen share. It was smooth. It went well. Obviously, you do that on a regular basis. You can tell that you've practiced that. I just really enjoyed your speech. Thank you.
Thanks, Andrea. Tammy, go ahead.
I don't have a whole lot to add. I'd not heard the speech before in the new pathway, so that much I appreciated because now it gave me ideas. So thank you for my own personal benefit from that. And I do a little bit too much Facebook probably, and I need to do better at it though with my clubs. So I appreciated seeing your insight on how you're actually managing that social media platform to help encourage your clubs, and I can use a lot of that information for myself. I don't really have anything to critique because I really appreciate your knowledge of this, and I see you all over social media with your club. So thanks for sharing your insight for the rest of us that want to learn from you.
Thank you. And Rick, did you have one final thing to say before we move on?
I don't really think so. I just think that Aaron did do a very good job in his sharing, the screen sharing that he did. I was really enjoying watching everything and grabbing the, what do you call it, the animation. So I think he did a very good job and something I'd like to learn from.
I guess I'm still muted. All right, yay. Aaron, I enjoyed it as well. And I wanted to go into like the general evaluation portion of the meeting and say, one, thank you everyone for being here and being here on time. And a special thanks to Aaron for letting me know that he actually did sign up to be Tammy's evaluator before the meeting, and I just totally forgot, and doing that so elegantly and professionally, because that could have been really awkward, and he just like went in and just did that. Let me know, Aaron, if you are going to do her written evaluation, or if you want me to do that, it's fine. So, but I really appreciate that. And this is one of the things I love about being around advanced Toastmasters. It's kind of like, it's no big deal, right? We do that all the time for each other. But it's not something that you get when you're just starting out. So again, hugely appreciate that. Andrea, you had a great table topics section of the meeting. I liked how I don't know if your intention was to get to that one common thing, but I liked your wrap up and your reflection of how it all tied together. And I could really feel your heartfelt gratitude that we're people that you like to hang out with, because we do care. We do care. And you also care. And I loved learning about each person within the table topics a little more. It's one of the reasons why I love the table topics. I had no idea that we could sit around at the table and sell things to each other. I can't wait to do that with my people. I mean, like, why haven't I been doing that all along? That just sounds like so much fun. So, and great insight for everyone. And I think I'd like to ask our timer, Rick, to give us a timer's report at this time.
Be my pleasure. For the speeches, Tammy was 3 minutes and 20 seconds for a 3 to 4 minute speech, and Aaron, 7 minutes and 26 seconds. On the table topics, I was 1:39, Dawn was 1:41, Tammy 1:12, Aaron 2 minutes 18 seconds, and Andrea 2:55. On the evaluations, for the evaluation for Tammy's speech, Dawn, you did 1:46, and Aaron went 2 minutes even. And on Aaron's speech, Dawn, you went 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And that's my report. I'm sticking with it until I throw the paper away.
Yay! Wonderful. And I think we are at the end of our meeting, but before we close, I would like to ask if anyone here has any announcements or anything that they want to share with the group. And I'd like to also, after we do this part, show kind of a brief of what we're doing with our social media, just so you can kind of see what, it's very similar to Aaron's, but just to let you see how we can connect with our social media on Facebook anyways. But does anyone have anything else that they'd like to say about our meeting before we move on? Anyone? We can all unmute ourselves now, big free for all. And I'll say, go ahead, Ruth.
I would like to say something. We have a meeting with just 5 people. And sometimes meetings with a short staff work better than meetings with 20 people. And I would like to say that I congratulate each one of us for holding the focus and holding a good meeting, even with just 5. Not like, oh, there's just 5 people. But yes,